We're home now, obviously, so now we'll have a closer look at it. Look at the damage. I think we'll probably take that apart so we can look inside anyway. So first of all, it does fly, and it does fly nicely. And it does only cost £1, so we don't expect great quality from it. It's just the sort of thing you buy your kids to keep them occupied on a sunny afternoon, and then probably chuck it in the bin on your way home, save carrying it home. That seems to be the disposable way of doing things nowadays. So that's the packaging. The Cyclone, or the fan blade, it does come apart for no particular good reason other than I took it apart for the project that I did. Does it say anything important on it? I'll do a close-up of the writing that's on there, but it doesn't really tell you anything. It just says Poundland and the address and the batch number, but that's about it. So say it does come apart. There's no reason to take it apart. It's probably easier to mould it. In 2 separate pieces. I can't even get it apart at the moment. Well, let's change tools. Right, my favourite tool for getting things apart. Right, 3 little hooks, that comes off. So that's one moulding, that's the other moulding. I suppose it gives it a bit of aerodynamic shape, having a nice dome on the front of it. But that's it, nothing more to look at there. This surprised me that it broke. I haven't had one break like that before. Obviously, if they made it slightly thicker plastic, it wouldn't break quite so easily. So, yeah, that was a surprise that that broke. What wasn't a surprise, if we can get the light on this clearly enough, you can see where you pull the string through. If you pull it over at a slight angle, the speed of that coming through heats it up and it actually melts the plastic. So you're cutting another hole in it there. So the ideal fix there would be a little metal eyelet there, or ring or donut, to take the heat and the friction from the string so it doesn't dig in like that. And before you say, oh well, that's because you're a man, Grandad, and you're big and tough and you're pulling it extra hard, I know my grandsons could do that in a matter of minutes. So yeah, that's not so good. Previous versions that I've played with, used with my grandsons, when you pull it that way, it actually pulls the 2 halves apart and it goes down into the crack there. Well, that didn't happen this time, so I expect that's an improvement. Inside, will that one reach inside? Yeah, just... Oh, drop the screw on the floor. Didn't intend to do that. Oh, drop that one on the floor as well. Right. Before I open it, we'll zoom in a bit. Check the lighting. Okay, so I've just undone the 3 screws. So when we open it up, what we have inside is a rubber band. The only purpose of the rubber band is to return it or rewind it when you let it go. Strengthening the rubber band won't make it go any higher. That's for rewinding it when you let it go, not for anything else. So this is the actual coil of string. You're unwinding it. It comes through there. So it has got a guide there to try and give it a bit more strength. But as we've already seen, I am melting a hole in it where the string's pulling through. So they made a bit of an effort there, but if they'd put a bit of metal in there, which obviously would cost a bit more money, put a bit of metal in there with a hole in it, an eyelet, as I keep saying, that would take the heat and the friction off the plastic. Anything else to look at here? We can just pull that out so we can have a closer look at it. So that's what matches up. In there is the reverse of that. So it latches in place. So, yeah. And that's it. Nothing much more to look at. Well, nothing at all more to look at. Nice little rubber band, that. So I expect you want that fully wound. You put that in so that when you pull that, you can see it's twisting the rubber band. If I try and hold it in place. And it's the pull that launches the flyer, not when it's spinning back down again. When it's spinning back down again, that's just to wind the string back in again. You could manually wind it in if there was no rubber band there. So that's it. Teardown completed. I've just got to grovel on the floor and find the screws to put them back in again. I don't know if it's worth trying to think about anything I could do there to strengthen it. Ideally, a nice little piece of brass with a hole in the middle, fitting just in that slot there, would do it. That would take all the force. And that would be a good improvement. It would last a bit longer then. Right, I've been trying to think what I can do to improve this, to basically repair the area where it's getting worn away by the string. Now, I do know somewhere in my stock I do have a tool that puts eyelets into clothing and that sort of thing, but I can't find it. So I've got a bit of paper clip here, and it occurs to me that if I wrap it tightly around something to make a good circle or an eyelet, then we should be able to super glue that in position, something like that. We cut it to the right size, push it in there so the loop is exactly in position. That might help. Right, I've pushed my little coiled up bit of paper clip in there. I'm going to put super glue around it to hold it in place, and then reassemble it. Obviously put the string through it. Gonna have to undo that knot anyway, because we're gonna have to do something, make another, probably 3D print another one of them, and just see if that stops it wearing away. There we are, super glued in place. Little arms go down inside, give us a bit more rigidity, or help hold it in place anyway. So that goes on there. And that should reduce the chance of it actually being able to pull off at an angle and wear away at the plastic. And if you pull it right at an angle like that, it's still going to rub the plastic. But when we're pulling it more or less straight, we shouldn't be melting the plastic. Obviously we'll have to give that a try, won't we? And I'll have to 3D print another one of them. I mean, you could just tie it on, but I'll see if I can 3D print something, because I've got a 3D printer. 3D printed myself another little, whatever you want to call that bit. I made it thicker inside, and the hole only goes a slight way in, so most of that is solid, so it should be stronger than that one. The only thing is, we can't really test it indoors, because when we do that we hit things up on the ceiling. Well, it works. That'll do. Thanks for watching. If you want more information, check down below in the video description. If you like this video, you might like this one up here. And if you want to subscribe, you can check out my channel over here. Up here is my latest video on my channel, and down here is a video playlist associated with the video you've just watched. Thanks again for watching.